Hi, I'm just releasing a Thanksgiving video and I apologize. It's a bit of a somber one, but it's an important message. So I released those videos, like a series of like 20 of them, right? And I'd worked really hard on them. Took a lot of personal courage to post those to everybody, right? And I didn't get much of a response. Usually people ignore me. It's fine. It's Facebook or Instagram or whatever. It's not a problem, right? But there was one person in my group that had posted a Facebook post, and it was supposed to be about an anonymous man, right? And she posted that this man had all these admirable qualities, right? And he was such a great worker, and he had this quality and that quality, and she listed like 10 qualities of how perfect the man was. But she said that his only flaw is his crazy wife, right? And it was clear from when I read from the post exactly who she was talking about. And it seemed to be that she was kind of like attacking me for posting these videos about faith, right? I was trying to spread messages of love and inspiration to people about gratitude on Thanksgiving, and here this woman was coming out saying that I was my husband's only flaw and that I was a crazy woman. um, I don't know. I tried not to let it affect me. Last night it did all night, and then this morning I tried not to let it affect me. We were watching the Macy's Day Parade, but my head wasn't really in it, right? And I made a couple of side dishes and made a pie, and my husband worked on the turkey, and we sat down to turkey dinner and Thanksgiving, but my heart wasn't in it, and it was kind of not the greatest Thanksgiving. It would have been a good Thanksgiving if I hadn't read that post. I tried not to let it hurt me. My husband said, "Don't be so sensitive, don't be so emo," and I was like, I'm trying not to, but I just couldn't like get past what had been said about me. I wanted to talk about this a little bit. I want to tell you a story. So, I used to live in Hampton, Virginia, right? I don't know if you know of Hampton, Virginia. It's where NASA was first established, and they have an Air Force base there, right? And they have a nature park that I used to take my kids to. So, anyways, this town is kind of known for the movie. I think it's Hidden Figures. So, in the movie, they have a lot of women that are in the background, right? And they're very smart. They're very capable. They create many things. And the thing is that they're African American and they're female, right? So the bosses kind of like steal their ideas and kind of make them produce a lot for them, right? And they're the brains behind the projects, but really, like, nobody knows they're the hidden figures, right? And so the guys kind of steal the credit for it as well. And nobody, like, they go out into society and people are just kind of like mean to them and insulting them and putting them down, right? And they don't know that they're like the brains behind all of these operations, right? So that's the story. So I used to live in Hampton, and very close to Langley Air Force Base. We would go to this nature park, and I had my toddlers, right? And I pushed them to the park, right, on the stroller, and get them out, and they're running around playing. Another woman shows up at the park, and it's just the two of us women, and she's got her kids, and the kids are playing with my kids. We were there for like an hour, right? I'm drinking from my favorite coffee mug, right? And this woman, she kind of ignored me. I think I had like sweatpants on with stains. I mean, I was a toddler mom, right? And my hair was a mess. And, she had this impression, I could see that in her eyes, that she didn't think the greatest of me from just my appearance, right? We started talking, and she was very rude and insulting, right? So, yeah, towards the end, like, I left with my kids, and I had a very negative, bad experience of that. And I left with my kids. I got halfway through the parking lot, and I realized that I had left my coffee mug. So I go back to get my coffee mug, and this is a coffee mug that I had created, right? It was the one that I designed and created myself. It was one of my favorite coffee mugs. And the woman was gone with the kids, and my coffee mug was gone too. She'd stolen my coffee mug. Sometimes people won't think you're good enough, and they'll think the worst of you, but you're really the one behind the things that they like and that you created, right? So, like in the story of Clark Kent and Superman, right? Lois Lane is gushing about how wonderful Superman and all is and all these things that he's done, not knowing that Clark Kent with the glasses is the guy behind a lot of it, right? So I guess what I'm saying is this woman was gushing in this Facebook post about how wonderful my husband was and all his qualities, right? 12 years ago, when my husband and I got together, all he had was a cardboard box and a bunch of bottles of booze. Because he was in connection with me and my kids, he built up this flourishing business and he became a very successful man. And I wasn't getting any credit for that. I was just like being looked at as like the crazy woman, right? That was his flaw that was attached to him. Have you ever watched a movie where there's like a businessman and he's very respected? He takes his housewife to the dinner party, right? And everybody's talking to him and they're respecting him and saying how wonderful he is. And then they like have to make conversation with her and they don't want to, and they're like, what do you do? Oh, I'm a housewife. And then they kind of like look at her like she's not good enough or there's something wrong with her. I just wanted to talk about this, how it's like not the right way to treat people. They have that phrase in the Bible, right? And it's reap what you sow, right? So there's a farmer that's cultivating a field and he just keeps taking and taking from the field, right? But he doesn't invest back into the soil. He's not enriching the soil, and he's using slash and burn technique, right? So eventually the soil like depletes, and then there's no more yield. There's no more harvest, right? Because he's not enriching the soil, and he's not putting anything back into the soil, and he's also just like slashing and burning, which is like the equivalent of giving lots of rude insults to people over and over again. You can see that with bosses, right? Where they just insult the crap out of somebody. But then they take all the credit and they take the profits, they take the money, they take the patent, They have an inventor that invents. But they don't get the credit for anything. And all their ideas and their content is stolen and repackaged and repurposed with the other person's name, right? Scientists that make big discoveries, and they're the real person behind it all, and the other person is just getting all the credit, right? So there's another story in the Bible, right, that is associated with this, and that's Leah. So Leah is often referred to as the ugly woman, right? She's the background girl, even though she was in a love triangle with Jacob and Rachel, right? She didn't want to be involved with this. She was always the background girl, as the ugly girl, like in the background. But she was the one that produced like 6 children, and of those children, like 4 of them became very important in the future of Israel. She was considered to be the mother of Israel. So they loved everything that she produced, And from Judah came Jesus and came King David, but they never loved her. She was always called the ugly woman, right? So we have these women out here that are just doing amazing things and creating great content and wonderful products and wonderful children and doing so much. And like nobody's giving them credit. Nobody's saying, hey, I want to invest in a relationship with you, and I think that you're wonderful, and I think that you've done amazing things. And they're just like, it's all that guy over there, he did it. It's not, So I'm just saying that kind of ruined my Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah. I had posted all these videos as a gift to people, about love and gratitude and being thankful to God, and then somebody repaid me with like a horrible insult about how I'm a worthless person that's not good enough for them. Yeah. I know this is a horrible story to tell on Thanksgiving, but I just want to remind you how you're supposed to treat everybody with respect, right? From the littlest person all the way to the top. The first will be last and the last will be first, and it's not okay to treat people like that. It wasn't okay to treat those women in that Hidden Figures movie like that, right? So, anyways, happy holidays. Try to have a good day. I will too. Thank you. Bye.